Om. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। After congratulating the student for asking right questions and after explaining the importance of self-effort in the spiritual life by giving different examples that we have seen, Shankaracharya ji, the teacher in the story, explains how self-knowledge is something that one has to gain oneself. Others may help on the path, but they cannot do it for you. Just like when you are hungry, you have to eat. When you have a disease, you have to take the medicine. In the same way, ignorance is the problem that one has got. One only has to gain self-knowledge. So, self-effort must be put forth. Then, in which direction the self-effort must be put forth? That also Shankaracharya ji said. That only the effort which will lead to the knowledge that I am that Brahman, that alone will help us in releasing ourselves from the bondage. By all other means or by all other darshanas, philosophies, we will not be able to gain that. Now, when we are studying different texts, mastering different philosophies, please be careful. Shankaracharya ji, as a teacher there, is giving us all a warning. What? That the scholarship is not something that you should go for. Knowledge is meant for liberation. Please use it for that only. When will the knowledge be used for something else? When you go for the, what do you call as, surface level understanding of it. When you do it for the sake of popularity, degree, fame, name, then that knowledge is only for bhukti. He says it is, you may have a great oratory skills. What is that? Vag Vaikhari, Shabdajari, Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam. But all that is what? Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat. It is like that, like what? Veenayaha Rupa Saundaryam, Tantri Vadana Saushthavam, Prajaranjana Matram Tat Na Samrajyaya Kalpate. The beautiful form of the veena and the expertise to play the chords is only for Prajaranjanam, is only for pleasing the audience. Let your Shastra study not become like this. It is meant for inner transformation. If it is not doing that, then something is going wrong. Please notice and please make sure that you are on the right path. Knowledge one must gain. For that scriptures one must study. But please remember what is that study meant for. What is the purpose? Even for brahmachari, swamins, etc., when Pujya Gurudev, used to give diksha and say that now you will be going in the field and giving lectures. Don't think that you are giving knowledge to them. No, it is your way of loud reflection. That's how he used to say. That every session that you are taking, consider it as loud reflection. Loud reflection means you are reflecting on the subject loudly. So it is a conversation between you and you. And but Swamiji, there are so many people sitting. They are just passing by there where you are talking, and they are just listening few things and are getting few things. Purpose is not to please them. Purpose is what? Purpose is to purify oneself. All our great rishis, Santa Mahatmas, you will see in their writing also, they will say that this is not meant for any kind of recognition or scholarship. So the great Santa Tulsidas Ji Maharaj. Tulsidas Ji has written Ramacharita no? Tulsi Ramayana, very famous. Very beginning he makes it very clear. Swantas Sukhaya Tulsi Raghunatha Gatha Bhasha Nibandham Atimanjula Matanoti. He says, why Tulsi is writing this Ramayana? Is it because Valmiki Ji also wrote Ramayana and Valmiki Ji became so famous, so let me also become famous? No. He says, Swantas Sukhaya. That Sri Rama is sitting in my heart. Just for the, happiness of that Lord. All other things are, they don't even matter. Swantas Sukhaya. Later on also, in one of the dohas, in one of the chaupais, he says that I am singing the glory of Sri Rama so that my Vani, my speech will be purified. You see how they look at it. So every single thing, whether you are studying the scriptures, whether you are sharing that knowledge with others, please remember that this is meant for inner transformation. Not any kind of scholarly degree or name, fame, etc. Why? Because he says the purpose of the study of scriptures is to gain liberation, is to gain that direct experience of I am Brahman. If that has not happened, then the study of scriptures is futile, is of no use. And then he goes on to say, once that has happened, then also the study of scriptures is futile. Avidnyate pare tattve shastra adhitistu nishphala. Vidnyatepi pare tattve shastra adhitistu nishphala. It doesn't mean that study of scriptures is futile. So one should not study. No, that is not the meaning. What is the meaning? The study of scriptures should lead me to that direct experience. If it has not done that, then the study of scriptures has not given the intended result, and therefore it is fruitless. The result which one should gain, one has not gained. It is not to say that don't study scriptures. It is to say that don't just stop there. Please understand what it is meant for and go for the goal. Don't get stuck up in the path. Understand what it is meant for. And once you understand it, once you realize it, once you experience directly that I am Brahman, then the scriptures are of no use. They say, as long as we are in the samsara, Shastras are our umbrella. They are protecting us. They are guiding us. a person who realizes, Jnani, becomes the umbrella for the Shastra. Now he protects the Shastra. Means what? People who are following the Shastra get a live example that, see, this is what happens by following Shastra. So far Shastra is proof for us. Many things we don't know, we say because Shastra is saying, we follow it. A Jnani becomes proof for Shastra. So to such a Jnani, the Shastra will not give any guidance, will not give any injunction. Nistraigunne pathi vicharata, ko vidhi ko nishedha. Shastra only what it does, do this, don't do this. Once a person has gone beyond this, beyond the paths of punya and papa, what do's and don'ts scriptures can give. So once one has realized vidnyatepi paretatve shastradhitistu nishphala. Very famous stories there. I'm sure many of you have already heard. It's about a great saint called Ramana Maharshi. This Ramana Maharshi, recent saint from last century, in 19th century, 18th century, etc. He lived till 1950 in Tamil Nadu, in Tiruvannamalai, and he was a very exceptional Mahatma, because he didn't go in that birth, he didn't go via the usual method of realization. He didn't study any scriptures. At the age of 11, suddenly one day he had that feeling that I am going to die. 11, 15 at that age. And then he started thinking, who is this who is getting the feeling I am going to die? I am going to die means what is going to die? Am I the body? So he enacted the entire scene as though he is going to die. So body is dead, but still I am there. Pranas are gone, still I am there. Mind has stopped, still I am there. Who am I? I am that. So he, without study of scripture, so to say, he realized. But then what used to happen, later on, when he came to Tiruvannamalai and ashram, etc. was there. So other scholars used to come and give discourses on scriptures. And seekers used to come and listen. And Ramana Maharshi will also come and sit there. So people used to ask, why are you listening now? You have already realized. So he said, no, I want to know what the scriptures are talking about me. And he used to say, correct. That is my experience, correct. He has not studied the scriptures, but he has realized, and now he is confirming whatever scriptures are telling are right. See? Vidnyatevi paretatve shastradhitistu nishphala. But the mind of such a Brahmajnani also becomes so subtle, because the Brahmajnani is not attached, no? The mind picks up so many things so quickly. So he picked up so many things, so many languages. Tamil Nadu, he knew Tamil, but Telugu, Malayalam, Sanskrit, he picked up like that and he started composing. We have so many texts that are written by Ramana Maharshi. Upadesh Sara is there, it is there in Tamil also, in Telugu also. He himself has translated into Telugu, in Sanskrit, Upadesh Sara. Such Mahatmas. So, avidnyate paretatve shastradhitistu nishphala. Vidnyatepi paretatve shastradhitistu nishphala. Right? Understand the purpose of study of scriptures and go till the end. That is what Shankaracharya says. Don't get caught up in the path. Don't get stuck up there. Why? Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam. Because this Shabdajala, this web of words is maharanyam, is like huge forest. Chitta brahmana karanam. And you will get lost. What will get lost? The mind will get lost. It will keep wandering here and there. Oh, so beautiful, oh, so beautiful, oh, so beautiful. You will forget that you have to reach somewhere. The Shastra words are meant for taking you somewhere higher. Ataha prayatna jnatavyam. Therefore, put efforts in realizing that knowledge. Tattvajnehi tattvamatmana. Atmana tattvam jnatavyam. One should realize the nature of the self. Last time we saw anantam cha shastram, bahulasya vidya, alpasya kalaha. And then what? Bahuvignata cha. Lots of things are there. Infinite number of shastras are there. So many vidyas are there. So many types of knowledge, sciences are there. Kala is very less, time is very less. And in that time also, bahu vignata cha. So many obstacles are there. Pandemic, obstacle. No classes, etc. can happen. Of course, we find some solution, but there are so many obstacles. Therefore, what one must do? Yat sarabhutam tad upasaniyam. That which is the essential. In all the scriptures, in the ocean of scriptures, that which is essential, tad upasaniyam. That one must study. Like what? Hamso yatha kshiram eva ambu mishram. Just like Hamsa collects only kshira, milk. Milk which is mixed with water, he does not even touch water, he only collects milk. Like that, study the scriptures in essential way. Shastra Vasana, don't let it catch your mind. Understand that the study is meant for realization. Right? Then he moved forward to the next stop. What? He said, suppose you are bitten by the snake, then you have to take the medicine. Just by saying the name of the medicine, the snake bite will not be what we call treated. Ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmadnyana aushadam vina kimu vedaischa shastraischa kimu mantraihi kim aushadhi. All the other means will not work, isn't it? If I am bitten, then I must take the medicine. Next verse, nagacchati vinapanam. And that medicine also I have to consume. Vyadhir aushada shabdatah. Just by saying the name of the medicine, aspirin, 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 my headache will not go. Vina aparokshanubhavam brahma shabdairna muchyate. Similarly, without gaining that direct experience, just by saying aham brahmasmi, I will not get liberated. Many people ask this question, no? Japa mantras are there, no? Different mantras. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Can we do aham brahmasmi as japa? Gurudev used to oppose this a lot. He said, no, it is not meant for japa. Why? Because it is meant for realization. It is meant for experiencing. When we chant the mantra of your Ishtadevata, our Ishtadevata, we at least get support that we require on the spiritual path. The support of His grace. You say, aham brahmasmi, who will support you? That is not meant for japa. That aham brahmasmi is meant for meditation. And meditation happens after understanding what is the aham and what is brahma. And what is the meaning of asmi. After understanding all that, for experiencing, that is maintained. Just by saying aham brahmasmi, I will not become Brahman. One more example Shankaracharya ji gave, very beautiful, Drishtanta and Darshtantika. First he gave Darshtantika. What? Akritva drishya vilayam. Without having accomplished the dissolution of the seen world. Ajñatva tattvam atmanaha. Without having realized the tattva, essential nature of the self. Brahma shabdaihi. Just by the word Brahman. Kutaha muktihi. How can one gain liberation? Ukti matra phalair nranam. It's only by repeating the words. How will one gain liberation? Like what? Example in the next verse, 64 verse number, says, Akritva shatru samharam. A king has lost his kingdom. But he has not akritva, not done. What? Shatru samharam. He has not defeated his enemy. Agatva akhila bhushriyam. He has not recaptured his land. Raja hamiti shabdat. But he is only sitting at one place and saying, Aham Raja, I am the king. Nau Raja bhavitum arhati. One does not become king just by saying. If you want to become king, you have to what? End the enemies, regain your land, then you will be called as king. In the same way, if we want to become Brahman, if we want to realize Brahman, we have to dissolve the entire world into that substratum Brahman. We have to realize the supreme nature of the consciousness as Brahman, as one's own self. Then and then alone one can be liberated. Just by saying I am Brahman, one does not become Brahman. Right? In Kenopanishad, one very beautiful episode is there. The teacher there in Kenopanishad, also student and teacher, their conversation is going on, and the teacher asks to the student, did you get the knowledge completely what I gave you? So the first khanda, the knowledge is given. Second khanda also knowledge is given. Now in the third section he is asking, have you got the knowledge completely? The student says yes. Teacher says, if you think you have got it completely, you have not got it. Go and study more, go and reflect more. Yadi manyase suvedeti dabhramevapi nunam tvam vetha brahmano rupam. The form of Brahman that you know is only little bit only, you have not understood it completely. Why? Because you think you have got it. This is not something that you can get it. So if you think you have got it, you have not got it. So go, reflect more and then come. So the student goes, reflects more, does the manana, does the meditation, realizes, comes back again. Now the teacher asking same question, did you get it? But this time the answer given by student is different. He says, I am not saying I have got it, but that doesn't mean I have not got it. I have got it. I have not got it. And anyone sitting here who understands what I am saying, he has also got it. What? He says, I am not saying I have got it. Why? Because it is not some kind of intellectual understanding which I can get. Brahman is not a concept. Brahman is my own self. I need to realize it. So anybody who says I have got it, that is only intellectual understanding. That's not realization. So I have not got it. But that doesn't mean I have not got it. That doesn't mean I have not got it means I have realized it. So you can say I have got it and you can also say I have not got it. And it says forget about just me. Anybody who is sitting here who understands what I am talking, that person has also got it. That's how this knowledge is. It's a subjective science. It's not like mathematics, which you can understand just by concepts. Mathematical concept you understood, yes. Physics concept you understood. Language concept you understood. It's not like that. Here there is no mind, intellect, that understanding is not sufficient. We are talking about who we are. What is my real nature? Mind and intellect are all not me, no? They are away from the real nature of me. So mind and intellect, what they understand is a very limited understanding or knowledge of the real self. Go further and realize without the mind and intellect, through direct subjective experience, that I am Brahman. Till that time, don't stop. See, before giving knowledge only, Shankaracharya is warning us for all the pitfalls that may come. Then what? Then he gives, in one verse, the entire spiritual path, or what we call as Jnana Marga, but through a very, very beautiful metaphor. We have seen in the last session, verse number 65. Let us just see it once more and then we will move forward. Aptoptim khananam tathopariशिलाद्युत्कर्षणं स्वीकृतिं निक्षेपः समपेक्षते नहि बहिः शब्दैस्तु निर्गच्छति तद्वत् ब्रह्मविदोपदेश मननध्यानादिभिर्लभ्यते माया कार्यतिरोहितं स्वमलं तत्त्वं न दुर्युक्तिभिः. The example is that of what? Some great treasure that is hidden at the same place where I am staying, but I did not know it. So how the process takes place, what are the steps that happen for me to be united with the treasure? It starts with aptoktim. Apto uktim. Apta means a person who is hito upadeshi, who is thinking about my benefit. Well-wisher, apta. Uktim, his words. So some well-wisher tells me that your great-great-grandfather has put something here in this place. Then what? Just because I came to know, do I gain the nikshepa? Nikshepa here means that word, no? Nikshepa means treasure. Do I get that? No. Then what you have to do? Aptoktim. After that, khananam. Khananam. I have to dig at that place. And remember, in digging also, same place you have to dig. Not like here little bit, then there little bit, then there little bit, then there little bit. Swamiji, I studied, Tattvabodha first 2 lines. Then after that, I didn't like it much. So then I shifted to, Yoga. So Yoga Sutras. Then Yoga Sutras also started, Chittavritti, Nirodha, etc. started, but too much difficult and too many words were there. So then I shifted somewhere. Like that, if you do Shravana, it will not work. So Khanana. Khanana means what? Digging. That digging has to be at the same place where you have done Shravana, that place only you should reflect. Not little bit here, little bit there, little bit there, little bit there, no. And then when you are digging, lot of soil is coming there, you have to take it out. Shila adi, small pebbles, stones also will be there, that also you have to take it out. Otherwise the, pit will be always full. You have to empty the pit. Then only you can dig more. So, tad upari shiladi utkarshanam. Tatha upari shiladi utkarshanam. Upari means on top. Shiladi, small stones, you have to remove. Then what? Then you see the treasure there, the box, svikritim. You have to retrieve that. Then you will gain nikshepas samapekshate. Just by sitting on top, saying that yes, I have got the treasure, I do not get the treasure. I have to do all these steps. Now all these steps are compared with our jnana marga, the path of knowledge. What is the first step? Aptoktim. So Shankaracharya himself is explaining tadvat. Second line you see tadvat in the same way. Brahmavid upadesha. Brahmavidopadesha. That is first. Means what? First step is that Guru Brahmavid, the knower of Brahman, that Guru is Upadesha. His Upadesha means you are listening to that Upadesha. The teaching about Brahman that the knower of Brahman is giving, you are listening to it. The step of Shravana, listening. Then once you listen, is it sufficient that well-wisher told you that your great-great-grandfather has kept a treasure for you? Did you get the treasure? No. Then you have to make that knowledge that you have listened, you have to make it your own. Therefore, you have to dig. What is that digging? That digging is reflection. Manana. Khanana is compared with manana. Manana. So, Upadesha, then manana. Then okay, I understood. Is it sufficient? No. Then dhyana. Nididhyasana. I have to feel that knowledge. Because I just now we saw, no, that it is not some kind of objective knowledge. That just by intellect I will understand. No. This is subjective knowledge. I need to experience it. Right? And then Adibihi. Adibihi means through Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, etc. Then what happens? Swam, Tattvam, Amalam, Maya Karya Tirohitam, Labhyate. Then you gain that treasure. What is that treasure? One's own self is the real treasure, which is hidden in one's own inside only. We are that. It is something like sitting on top of treasure, we are begging. Isn't that another example that they used to give? Outside a temple, lots of beggars used to beg. And everybody's position also will be fixed because they are begging for so many years. So every day they will come and sit at the same place and go. and they didn't even pay attention on what they are sitting. So like that, one person was sitting on one kind of trunk. Suddenly one day one well-wisher came and said that, do you even know what you are sitting on? He said, no, I never paid attention. He said, just open and see. And when he opened, he understood there is so much of money there. So all the while for so many years, the person was sitting on top of so much of money and begging for 1 rupee, for paisa, 10 paisa, 20 paisa, 50 paisa, sitting on top of so much of treasure. Don't laugh, that beggar is all of us. Who are we? Satchidananda Swarupa. We are the source of all happiness. We are of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss. And what are we doing? We are begging. Oh, give me little bit joy. Oh, give me little bit joy. Oh, TV, please give me little bit joy. Oh, wife, please give me little bit joy. Oh, mobile, please give me little bit joy. That's what we are doing. Being nature of bliss, we are begging joy from others, from objects and beings. Why? Because we don't know. So, we came to know. Is it sufficient? No, but so many wrong thinking we have done. Now we have to rewind it. Remove all those wrong things and come back to our natural state. Unlearn nowadays, that is very well known term now. What are we doing? We are unlearning. Whatever wrong things we have learned, now we are unlearning. That is manana, nididhyasana, samadhi. And then what? Then one gains the supreme self, one's own nature. That is the greatest treasure. Now, just by saying I am wealthy, I have got treasure, I will not gain the treasure. I have to go through the path. Right? That is what is explained in verse number 65. Now, in verse 66, the teacher concludes the topic that started from verse number 50. What was verse number 50? That is not important. What was verse number 49 is important. What was verse number 49? Verse number 49, the 7 questions of the student. Ko nama bandha, kathamesha agata, katham pratishtas, katham vimu, ko savanatma, paramakatma, tayor viveka, katham. Remember, no? Etaducchatam. Then the teacher started to speak, isn't it? So now, whatever he has said, now he is concluding that. Let us see verse number 66. Tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye swaireva yatnah kartavyah rogadaviva panditaihi tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye swaireva yatnah kartavyo rogadaviva panditaihi. Kartavyo, if you break kartavya, it will become. So tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. This therefore word is the indicator that the topic is ending. When you study Bhagavad Gita, etc., you will see Bhagavan Shri Krishna uses the word tasmat means topic is ending. Now some other thing will start after this. So tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. Therefore means all the arguments now from verse number 50 till now you have to remember. Since you have desire to realize the Supreme, because for which you have asked the question. Since personal effort is required in the path of spirituality. You remember all those examples that he gave. Since nobody else can do it for you, not like the debt that can be paid by somebody or like the load that you are carrying on your head. Not like that. This is not something that others can do it for you. Since it is like this, since the inquiry alone will result in self-knowledge, since the self-knowledge or self-experience, self-realization alone is required, since one has to be very careful about the pitfalls, since one has to not stop with mere accomplishments in the worldly field, that I have studied so many scriptures, I am a great orator. No. Since that supreme cannot be attained just by merely chanting Aham Brahmasmi, therefore, since all these things are required, therefore, tasmat, sarva prayatnena, by all efforts, put your best efforts for what? Bhava bandha vimuktaye, for liberating oneself from the ocean of samsara, from the bondage of samsara. Bhava, samsara, bandha, bondage, vimuktaye, for liberation. For liberation from the bondage of samsara, sarva prayatnena, by all efforts, swaihi eva yatnah kartavyah, by oneself alone, yatnah, self-effort, kartavyah, should be done. One has to put effort, self-effort. Panditaihi, by the wise. What do you mean by the wise? By a person who is intelligent, who has understood what I have just said. By you. The Guru is saying, by you, now the self-effort should be undertaken. Like what? Rogadau iva. Like in case of disease, etc. So he is giving a reference call. That I gave some examples before, remember? That when you have roga, disease, you have to take medicine. And later on also, in another context, he said that just by repeating the name of the medicine, you will not be cured. You have to consume the medicine. Therefore, put forth the efforts. You have asked the right question, now put efforts in understanding. So, information should become knowledge, and that knowledge should become experience. Put efforts in this direction. That's what the teacher is saying. Now, again the teacher praises the student one last time before giving the answers, before starting the answers. So, verse number 67, the Guru is again praising the student. What is he saying? Let us see. Yastvayadya kritah prashnah.
Yastvayadya kritah prashnah.
Variyan shastravinmatah.
Variyan shastravinmatah.
Sutraprayo nigudharthah.
Sutraprayo nigudharthah.
Nyatavyasya mumukshubhihi.
Nyatavyasya mumukshubhihi.
Yastvayadya kritah prashno variyan shastravinmatah. Sutraprayo nigudhartho jnatavyasya mumukshubhihi. The Guru says, Yah prashnah tvaya adya kritah. Please understand, the first word is actually Yah tvaya adya kritah prashnah. Understand meaning of each word. Yah, that which. That Yah goes with prashna, that question. Yah is a pronoun. Which question? Tvaya, by you. By you, by the student. Adya, now. Kritah, krita means asked. Prashnaha, the question. So, the question that is asked by you now, how is it? Variyan. It is excellent question. Variyan means great. Excellent question. And Shastravit Matah. That Variyan Shastravit Matah is actually Variyan Shastravit Matah. Shastravit Matah means it is Matah, it is falling in line with the view. Mata means view of Shastravit. Shastravit, knowers of scriptures. So, the question that you are asking is actually in line with what the scriptures are also telling. So scriptures guide us what kind of question we should ask, and you have asked that kind of question. So Shastravit, the knowers of Shastra, their mata, their view, their opinion, you are in line with their opinion. In some places, there is a Patha Bheda. There is a different reading of the text which says Shastra Sammataha. In some of your books, instead of Shastravin Mataha, it will be Shastra Sammataha. Shastra Sammataha means what? In line with Shastra, or Shastra Sammataha is supported by Shastra. So scriptures also agree that what you are asking, the question that you are asking is the correct question. It is an excellent question. It is in line with the scriptural teaching. And Sutra Prayaha, you have asked it in a concise sutra. Sutra means formula. Sutra actually means aphorism. Aphorism means short formula. Sutra Prayaha. Sutra Praya means you are not elaborating. See, in one verse, he has asked 7 questions. Yes or no? In one verse. So, Sutra Prayaha. In essence, you have asked. Each question is 2 or 3 words. Ko nama bandha, katamesha agata, katam pratisthasya, katam vimoksha, ko savanatma, paramakka atma, tayor viveka katam. In 2-3 words, you have asked the question. Sutra Prayaha. But Nigudhartha. Nigudhartha. Artha means meaning. Artha, meaning. Nigudha, hidden. Hidden, secret. So, though it is Sutra Praya, though it is a very short question, the words may be less, but there is lot of meaning hidden into those words. That is called as Sutra. That it is very short, but lot of things are there. You say, what was Einstein's discovery? You can easily say E is equal to mc square. But to understand what is E, what is m, what is c square, Nigudhartha, lot of meaning is hidden into it. It is short only. You can say it is short. So what did Newton do? Newton only F is equal to ma. But what is that F? What is m? What is a? To understand that, lot of meaning, lot of digging has to be done. You have to take out meaning. So your question is Sutra Praya is short, but has got lot of meaning hidden into it. Nigudhartha. Cha, and what? Nyatavyaha mumukshubhihi. And the most important thing is what? That it is it is the question, answer to which should be known. Nyatavyaha, should be known. Mumukshubhihi, by all the seekers of liberation. So your question is excellent. It is in line with scriptures. It is short, but has got lot of hidden meaning, and it is essential. There are many questions in the world which will fall in first 4 categories. They may be excellent. Some Shastra may support it. Not Vedanta Shastra, but some Shastra may support it. It may be short. It may be hidden, having lot of hidden meaning. But is it essential question? What will I gain by knowing the answer? Understand that this question or these questions, 7 questions that the student has asked, by gaining it, by understanding, by knowing the answer to which my life's purpose will be fulfilled. Why am I born as human being? Why? What is the purpose of our life? That purpose will be fulfilled by knowing answers to these questions, and therefore it is essential. See, suppose I don't understand what is E is equal to mc square. No problem. no problem will happen. In all the fields, no, there will be such questions which are tricky, which you need to, think a lot and understand the meaning. And it's not easy. Now, mc square, in that c is what? C is the speed of the light. And that you square it. What are we doing? And then it says that the matter gets converted into energy. I am just telling you, E is equal to mc square. Now, suppose I don't understand it. What will happen? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. In mathematics, square root of -1, they call it as I. One square root I know, 1 square root is 1 only, and 4 square root is 2, 9 square root is 3. Like that I know, -1 square root. How to find? So they can't explain. Mathematics can't explain. So they put I. Suppose I don't understand. What will happen? Think about it. All the things that we studied in school, most of it we have never used in our life. Isn't it? Isn't it? Limit. Limit. You remember mathematics? X tends to infinity. We didn't understand X, we didn't understand infinity. Nothing happened in our life. Though we didn't understand, we scored marks, no doubt about it. We got lots of marks. Whether Humayun came first or Akbar came first, nothing happens. Even if tomorrow you say that Akbar was the grandfather of Humayun, no problem. These are questions which may be required in their respective fields, but they are not essential for human beings. But this question is essential. Why? Because we are in samsara. We are actually of the nature of the bliss, but we are suffering. So, as human beings, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to know who we are. Who am I is the essential question. These 7 questions are around the central theme of who am I. Around the central theme of who am I. Ko nama bandha, how am I bound? Katamesh, from where has it come? How is it sustaining? How to get rid of it? What is not me? Who am I? What is the self? And how to distinguish between what is self and what is not self. So, all these 7 questions are on that same theme of who am I, which is essential question. Knowing the answer of this, our purpose of human life will be fulfilled. This is something that every human being must know. Yes, Swamiji. What? I got it. Everybody should know. So what? From tomorrow I am going to go to everybody. Hey, get up. You should know this answer. Listen to me. What? Calm down. First we gain. We gain the knowledge first. We transform first. That should be the focus. Why? Because Gurudev said, you transform, the world around you will transform. You try to change the world will not change. You change yourself, the world around you will automatically change. You don't even have to do anything. Remember, we cannot change the world. Forget about the world. We cannot change our own husband or wife. We cannot. One simple thing also we cannot. Still, even now, the husband is pressing the toothpaste from the center only, not started pressing from the down. We have told him 1,000 times, it has not happened yet. And it will not happen. The wet towel is still on the bed every day morning. One habit of anybody else in the world you cannot change. Why look at other people? We don't change by listening to somebody. Do we change our habits? Do we change our way of thinking? No. Just by somebody is saying, I don't change. So, and our goal is not to change everybody. That is not, that everybody is contribution is required for that. You cannot do it for them. Just now we saw, no? One has to put efforts for one's own self. But what happens is, when we understand, when we start to bring that knowledge into life and we transform, automatically the people around start getting that knowledge and start transforming. So the essential question, who am I? For which the answer is given now, and that we must listen. So after praising the student that you have asked an excellent question which is in line with the Shastra, which is in a short but has got lot of meaning in it, and it is essential, that is to be known by every seeker. That kind of question you have asked. Now what? O student, listen carefully. Verse number 68, let us say. Shrunushva vahito vidvan
Shrunushva vahito vidvan
yanmaya samudiryate
yanmaya samudiryate
tadetat shravanat sadyah bhavabandhat vimokshase. Shrunushva vahito vidvan yanmaya samudiryade tadetat shravanat sadyo bhavabandhat vimokshase. Shrunushva. Shrunushva, listen. Hey vidwan, O wise, O learned seeker. Learned seeker means O intelligent one. You have come to the essential question. You are indeed intelligent. Now what? Shrunushva. Listen. Shrunushva. Listen. Avahitaha. Avahitaha. Carefully listen. By being extremely alert. Listen. What? Yat maya samudiryate. Yat, that which, maya, by me, samudiryate, is being spoken, is being given. So what is being given, answered by me, carefully listen. Why? Tat etat shravanat, just by listening to it, sadyah, immediately, bhavabandhat vimokshase. Vimokshase, you will be released, liberated from what? Bhavabandhat, from the bondage of bhava samsara. So, O student, carefully listen to the answer that I am giving now, listening to which you will be liberated from the bondage of samsara immediately. Note this point. Just by listening, you will be liberated. We will discuss this point later, but just note it now. Okay? That's what the Guru is saying. Tadetat shravanat. Just by listening, you will be liberated. Okay? So, this is called Shrotru Abhimukhi catching the attention of the listener. Shrotru, listener. Abhimukhi karanam. You are turning his attention towards oneself. Shri Krishna will do that very often in Bhagavad Gita. He will catch Arjuna's attention by saying that, Arjuna, listen carefully. I am telling you some kind of knowledge which is not gained by anybody. The Devatas seek. All the Rishis are seeking. That I am giving to you. It is Raja Vidya Rajaguyam. It is the greatest knowledge and greatest secret. Listen carefully. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhe. Among thousands, some rare ones seek this. That knowledge I am giving. Arjuna, listen. It is called catching the attention, so that the student is not, wavering, thinking about this and that. He is immediately understand, now something important is coming, I should listen. That's what the teacher is doing. Now, the answer to the first question starts from verse number 69. 3 verses, 69, 70 and 71. What is the question? Not ko nama bandha. I told you earlier also, the Answers are not given in that order. Now you see, ko nama bandha, kathamesha agatah, katham pratishtha asya, katham vimokshah, ko savanatma, paramah ka atma, tayor vivekah katham. 7 questions were there. 4th question is answering. What is the 4th question? Katham vimoksha. That is the most essential question, isn't it? How the bondage has come, we will see later. How is it sustaining? That also we will see later. Isn't it? How has it come? What is bondage? How is it sustaining? All 3 we will see later. What is not me? What is me? That also will come. Immediately it will come. But first question is how to get rid of this bondage. Katham vimoksha. That is the first question that is answered by the teacher. Let us read verse number 69. Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate.
Mokshasya hetuh pratamo nigadyate.
Vairagyamatyantamanitya-vastushu.
Vairagyamatyantamanitya-vastushu.
Tatah shamaschapi damastitiksha.
Tatah shamaschapi damastitiksha.
Nyasah prasakta khila karmanam bhrisham.
Nyasah prasakta kila karmanam vrisham.
Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate. Vairagyamatyantamanitya-vastushu. Tatah shamaschapi damastitiksha. Nyasah prasakta khila karmanam bhrisham. Don't get confused. It is the same kind of meter, just the tune I am using is different. Earlier, for such verses, we use different tune. Now, different tune is used. That is it. Meter is same only. What is he saying? Mokshasya prathamaha hetuhu nigadyate. Nigadyate is expounded, is explained. What is explained? Mokshasya prathama hetu. The first step, first cause for moksha, for liberation. So the question is what? Katham vimoksha. How should I get liberated? How? That how question will have answer as the path, isn't it? How should I reach Delhi? Then there will be steps. First, tell me where are you. Then book a train or flight or bus or something. Vehicle. Isn't it? There will be steps. Do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. This how kind of question will always have steps. Recipes. Nowadays very well-known topic. YouTube etc. fulfilled with that recipes. How to make this, how to make that, how to make that, how to make food recipes. And then there will be steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. Like that, Shankaracharya is now giving Katham vimoksha, how to gain liberation. Mokshasya prathama hetu, first step. What? That is been expounded. What is that first step? Vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu. Atyantam vairagyam. Atyanta means what? Total extreme. Extreme vairagya. Vairagya, dispassion, detachment. We have seen already. Total detachment. Extreme dispassion towards what? Anitya vastushu, towards the impermanent objects. Anitya, impermanent. So first step is vairagya, he says. Then what? Tatah. Next step. Tatah means thereafter. Thereafter what? Shamaha. Shamaha. Swamiji, this word I have heard somewhere. In some text I studied Shama. In this text only we studied. You might have studied in other texts also, but in this text Shankaracharya took lot of effort in defining every term of sadhana chatushtaya. Remember? In that Shama was also there. Placing your mind in the object of meditation. That is called as Shama. Isn't it? So Shamaha, control of mind. Cha api, and also next step, Damaha, this is also explained. Damaha, control of senses. Then titiksha, forbearance, was also explained, isn't it? Sahanam sarvadukkanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. So remember, here only. Then what? Nyasaha means giving up, renunciation. Renunciation of what? Prasakta akhila karmanam. Prasakta akhila karmanam. Attachment, sakta, asakti. Attachment to what? All actions. Akhila karma. Akhila means all, karma means actions. So attachment to all actions, nyasa, to be given up. It was explained as uparama. Bahya analambanam vrittehe eshoparatiruttama. Uparama. Withdrawal. Effortless withdrawal. That's how it was explained. Uparama. Brisham, immediately. Brisham has two meanings. Last word brisham, one meaning is immediately, another meaning is totally. So Shankaracharya ji is here, what is he doing? He is giving first few steps. These steps, we know it as sadhana chatushtaya. He is mentioning few and other things we have to understand. When he is saying vairagya, we have to understand viveka is there prior to vairagya. When he is saying shama, dama, titiksha, uparama, we have to understand that there are other things also. Shraddha is also there, samadhana is also there, mumukshutva is also there. So, in order to gain liberation, first thing that you have to gain is what? Sadhana chatushtaya. First thing that one has to gain is sadhana chatushtaya. Then once that sadhana chatushtaya is gained, then what comes next? That will be explained in the next verse. We will see in the next session. But now what is the first step? First step, gain sadhana chatushtaya. So mokshasya hetu prathamo nigadyate. The first step I am explaining. What is that? Gain the sadhana chatushtaya. Viveka, vairagya, shama, dama, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana, mumukshutva. Why these things are required? Because all these things, sadhana chatushtaya, these qualities will give me chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata. Important words. Chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. Chitta ekagrata, focus of mind, single pointedness, concentration of the mind or intellect. In order to gain the supreme knowledge, one must have purity of mind and concentration of mind. Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata, these two are essential, absolutely essential for moksha. Why? Because only with such mind that is pure and focused, one can do the further steps. The further steps will be explained. We have just seen Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc. All these steps will be useful. We will be able to do it when we have this Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. So, in this verse, Shankaracharya is telling, through all these qualities, gain Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. There are other sadhanas also which are not mentioned. Karma Yoga, Bhakti sadhanas, Japa, Dhyana, Stotra chanting, going to different pilgrimages. As long as all of them are undertaken to purify your mind or to concentrate your mind. As long as they are giving either Chitta Shuddhi or Chitta Ekagrata, all the sadhanas that give me Chitta Shuddhi or Chitta Ekagrata can be included in this step. Careful. All the sadhanas that give me Chitta Shuddhi or Chitta Ekagrata can be included in this step. Okay. They are called as Bahiranga sadhanas. So sadhana means. Question is what? Katham vimoksha, no? How? So the means are given. Now, in those means also, there will be one thing called as Sakshat Sadhana. Sakshat Sadhana means direct means. Now, in order to gain the direct means, there will be Antaranga Sadhana. Antaranga means inner limb of the sadhana. That inner limb of the sadhana will be explained in the next verse, called Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. And now what is explained? The outer limb of the sadhana, Bahiranga Sadhana. So first gain the Bahiranga sadhanas, and through them gain Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. Then go for Antaranga Sadhana, Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Then gain Sakshat Sadhana, and you will be liberated. This is how the process is. Okay. So in order to gain Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, Shankaracharya is saying that acquire sadhana chatushtaya. But what he means is all other sadhanas also which will give you Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, those also will come under Bahiranga sadhanas. Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti sadhanas, all of that will also come as Bahiranga sadhanas. Is it clear? Then, what is the Antaranga sadhana, that we will see in the next session. Then it will become clear what is the Bahiranga sadhana also. Alright, chalo. Let us conclude. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.